What is going on, everyone? My name is Jeff. Guys, I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. I know I had a really good afternoon, and this right here just made it even sweeter. Of course, as many of you already know, I am a big Nvidia shareholder, and not only do I own, quite a bit of the stock, but I also am invested in several ETFs that are Nvidia heavy, like BOTS and USD. Now, they reported earnings today, guys, and actually had a miss on revenue, and right here in after hours, when the market closed, the stock actually shot up about $15 a share. And of course traded up around a 166 to 167 level, and it's kind of tapered back off to the lower 160s by the time the market is closed today. But there's a whole lot of positivity in this earnings report, guys, and I think the real beauty is that we're finally working through all the crypto numbers. I've seen a lot of people on social media between Facebook and Twitter saying they were shorting Nvidia going into the earnings call and that they were buying put options. And guys, this is the reason. This right here is the reason why I preach is don't be trading, purely on an earnings call, because you can get burnt so bad even if you call it right. Like I said, Nvidia did have a miss on revenue. All right, so here it is, guys. Nvidia beat by 17 cents and then they miss on revenue. Their quarter 4 non-GAAP EPS of 80 cents beat by 17 cents. I was actually very excited to see that. I thought they were going to have a miss on the top and bottom line, but ended up beating. Their GAAP EPS of 92 cents, that beat by 29 cents. So very good report on the top line. Now the revenue of $2.21 billion missed by $30 million. So it was a little confusing to me again. This reminds me of the other day when Activision Blizzard missed on earnings and the stock started going up. Of course, guys, the market is behaving a little out of ordinary. And so the real key here, guys, is to focus on valuation metrics. This is where spending a lot of time, having a lot of experience in the stock market comes in handy to reflect on situations like this. It even reminds me of the crash we had back in 2008. And then when the market started to recover in 2009, almost every company would miss on EPS and miss on revenue, and their stock price would shoot up, just because valuation metrics have beat these stocks down so low that as long as that they were putting out good numbers with revenue and decent numbers on EPS, institutional investors are still going to come in and buy the stocks, okay? And that was everybody's biggest fear, going into the last two earnings report was, are the crypto numbers really manipulating the stock price? And yes, they were. They definitely were. But with that said, Nvidia is a fantastic company, guys. Very fundamentally strong, and I definitely want this stock in my portfolio going forward into the future. So, from robotics, artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, improvement in graphics, pretty much any way you want to look at it, cloud computing, and they really hold the keys to all the stuff that we are going to see in the future. So let's start walking through this, guys, a little step at a time. Nvidia actually climbed up on a revenue miss. Now, why did this happen? Well, a couple weeks ago, guys, if you remember, I published this video about why Nvidia stock lost 14%. And guys, they took a big revenue guidance cut going into this quarter. They also took a couple of downgrades in the price target, okay? The crypto numbers were still getting whitewashed out of their revenues, and then it was going to take another quarter or two. Of course, I still believe some of that is probably priced in, but we are definitely getting to the end of it, okay? So Nvidia shares actually went up 8.6%. Like I said, after the results of the beat on EPS, miss on revenue, but the figure was in line with the $2.2 billion midpoint guidance cut, okay? So when that guidance cut come out, guys, Nvidia revenue actually met that. Institutional investors took that as a great vote of confidence that the management at Nvidia has regained their ability to forecast stock price a little better. And then the downward quarter one guidance has revenue within 2% of $2.2 billion, and with about a 59% gross margin, $755 million in operating expenses. And now, guys, don't let this confuse you. I know it can kind of seem a little confusing, but it's actually pretty simple. The forward year 2020 guidance expects revenues flat to slightly down. So let me just stop right there. The guidance has actually been raised, okay, from an estimated 5% drop to now they're supposed to be flat or just slightly down, okay? So actually, guidance revenue got bumped up a little bit. That's why the stock took off and jumped today. And again, guys, too, you know, Jensen Huang, he got very beat up in the media because he still put out such bullish forecasting for Nvidia, you know, even with knowledge, you know, that the crypto numbers were getting washed out of the stock price. And he did not warn investors about that, okay? And I hope and I know that he has gained a lot of experience from this. And now lastly, let's just break down the revenue. The GPU come in at 1.98 billion, 29% quarter over quarter. And guys, I'm gonna just ignore these year over year percentages because they are so manipulated due to the crypto burn. And gaming come in at 954 million. And quarter three shows a 1.76 billion forecast. Professional visualization, 293 million. You know, the data center at 679 million, auto at 163 million, and then OEM and IP at $116 million. So, and they did not make any changes to their dividend, guys. That's just staying at 16 cents, so no news there. But I think where we are currently at with Nvidia, guys, we are back on more of a stable ground, okay? But what I want you all to do, and this goes for Nvidia, Intel, and AMD over the next quarter, is of course pay attention to analyst upgrades and downgrades. You always have to be aware of that stuff, and I try to pump out videos every time I hear one I think is going to affect the stock price. On the same exact level, guys, I want you to also start ignoring that a little bit, okay? Analysts have beat Nvidia up and down and up and down and all over the place, and I have seen it just too many times. Right now, we are going to focus on Nvidia fundamentally. We're going to stay plugged into any news and any innovation directly from the company, and let's all see what kind of results we get next quarter. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for today's video. And then, of course, comment, guys. I want to hear your thoughts on Nvidia. I know there's a lot of Nvidia shareholders that watch the channel, so tell me what is on your mind. Thanks for watching, and happy Valentine's Day.